Yo! Now what could possibly be more exciting than a brake job video on a 1998 Cherokee? I got the brake drums off. They didn't want to come off, so I had to torch them. You just take a torch and you run it around here. I use MAP gas. And you get the drum to about 500 degrees. Give it a little whack with a hammer and both sides came right out because they're always stuck on the inside here. It's got a broken pad. He was complaining about a noise. He said it was grinding or making a scraping noise, and these adjusters, the cables on them snap all the time, and they sit there and roll around in the drum. I couldn't even find this chunk of the pad, so it's probably been rolling around in there and wore itself right off a long time ago. Kind of neat too. It's a little loose, a little bit loose. I can pull more out just because I feel like it. And I pull these dust boots back, and they're dripping. There's fluid that came out of these. Both sides. This side too. It's all yucky. Ooh yeah, drippy, drippy, drippy. So this thing needs wheel cylinders. Hardware kit. Anytime you do rear drums, always get a hardware kit unless you're like some kind of miracle, no rust miracle. And this brake line's really rusty too. So I'm probably going to end up destroying this brake line, and I'm probably going to have to replace it because I got to take the brake line off to replace the wheel cylinders. I'm going to try to get this off with a torch. We'll see what happens. Jeez. Old crusty stuff. I'm going to start off by using a brake tool. This is a spring tool. Sometimes you can just use vice grips or screwdrivers or something and try not to hurt yourself because these springs can really damage your hands if they come off wrong. These are kind of slick. They're nice and cheap. You just push these in and turn them. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I'm going to actually turn the pin because the spring doesn't want to turn. It's really rusty. There's a pin. There's two of these, one on each side. These are fun tools. It's got a little groovy thing on here. And they usually work. You just stick it in here and turn it and pull out like that. Here's the adjuster, the rest of it. And this should kind of come right out. Your emergency brake is held in right here. So there, you can put it back on this way too. I kind of try to keep this stuff in order. It's a good idea to do one side at a time because if you can't remember what goes where, you can always do the other side. This brake line is a rusty old 3/8 inch crusty thing. I'm just going to crack it just a little bit, or at least try to. Oh, and the line's turning with it. I just barely cracked it and I saw the line turn. That ain't no good. If I keep going with it, I'll just twist that line right off. I'm going to try to salvage this junk. Put some MAP gas on it. Get this plastic bleeder cap off so I don't burn that all to heck. No, it's not. It broke. Okay, I'll be replacing brake line on this thing. These are 3/8. There's two of those, 3/8 inch. Still. I'm just going to cut this line for now. And you can just grab a pry bar and pry this thing out of here. And I took and pinched off this line. This is the flexible hose on this side for, there's a little T-block here. And this will keep fluid flow from going out the line. And you can clean all this up with brake clean or whatever if you want. Brake clean, I don't want. Just makes a mess and it stinks. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, wire brush it a little bit. What the heck, why not? If you really want to make a mess, you could hose it down with water too. I don't really want to make a mess. Ooh, I think I found some with brake pad. It's stuck down here in the backing plate. It tried to get out. Gotta make sure that these contact points are clean. There's 3 on each side. That's where the brake shoe rides. And I want to slather some disc brake quiet on these contact points. Put some on here, some on here. It's not super crucial, but there's a contact point here too. You always want to match up your wheel cylinders with the original one. Make sure you got it right. These come in 9 and 10 inch, the drums. They're usually always 9 inch. That's what I got for this, a 9 inch drum kit. I got a hardware kit that's got everything in it. These should come in a red, left and right. This adjuster kit. It's got pins, adjusters, all kinds of fancy crap. There's a front and rear pad. The one on the front is shorter than the rear. This one's already got a pin in it. If your pads don't come with a pin, you got to pound one in there. It's pretty simple if you look at this one. You just do the same with this side. You got a spring you put in here. Then your adjuster goes in like this. And you snap that spring in. So it works like that. You got an adjuster here and it's already lubricated. It's got silicone paste on it. Dielectric grease, same stuff. And this is dry. I'll put some silicone paste on this too. Dielectric grease, whatever you want to call the stuff. I got a spring for this thing. Goes right there. Like so and so. Then I just put this in the hole like this. And go like that. And then this little thing I can put in this groove. Stick it on here. Like so. And this funky doojamihiki goes on. What the heck? This funky piece of slime. Little disc brake quiet on the back of these pins. So when they move around, once in a while they can make some noise. A lot of times these caps, a lot of times they snap in here. I like to point the pins straight up so the groove's straight up so I don't have to do any guesswork. Doesn't look like this E-brake's right. Nope, it fell out. I gotta put that back in. I don't know how that happened. This goes in next. Just leave that lay in there. Then with this, you gotta put this in the hole like this. It goes in there. This thing's got to go up and around it. Like so. And you can get your brake tool out, and it's got this funky little thing on here. Goes on like that. And this other one goes on the other side. Like so. Cable goes around this guide, and it's got to go up in this like so. And that's your adjuster. The way they got this thing, this brake line's connected to everything in their mother's brother. So I'm not going to take this one out. I'm going to leave it in there because it's got ABS wires and stuff attached to it, and I'm just going to run a new line. I measured it with a tape measure just to get a rough guess, and I'm at about 3 foot 6 inches, and you generally want to go a little bit longer. A lot of people buy brake line for this, but I'm going to make it. I don't buy pre-made brake line, so I'm going to cut this end. Rusty old 3/8. There's always two different kinds of flares people use depending on the vehicle. These are double flares. A lot of people buy new nuts. I don't. These are 3/16 lines, so I use an 11/64 drill bit. As you can tell, I've used it on brake lines before because some of the flares are stuck on it. It's stuck. Well, I got most of the line out, but that flare's still stuck, so I'm going to use a 3/16. I got it out. And I don't have to buy new nuts. I got some bulk holes laying around because I've done a gazillion brake jobs. There. It fits good enough. I don't much care for this coated line, but a lot of times it's all people sell now. I'd rather just have plain steel. This coated line, I'm pretty sure the only reason why parts there sell coated line and not regular steel is because it costs you more money. It's not going to last any longer on a vehicle like this. Now with these you need to measure the depth so you can double flare it. Some tools look like this, and you measure the depth from there to there, like so. So you know how deep you can make the bubble. And this one here, this is the little snap-on one. And this one you measure like this. Like that. Get that depth right, and you can tighten this down. And you put this thing, this little pointy sides in the hole. Crush it down. It makes a bubble. Now make sure that bubble is nice and square and it looks good. Then you crush it down in on itself. Make sure that's smooth, and sometimes they crack. Make sure there's no cracks in it. Make sure it doesn't split open on you, because it does happen. It looks real nice. Real good enough. And that's your double flare. Whatever you do, don't cross thread these. Always start them by hand. As you can see, it's a little long, but that's fine because I can always just make up room someplace else. And when you tighten these too, you want to get them really tight. just to make sure they're seated. And then you want to loosen them up and tighten them a couple times. And you'll notice when you do that, they get a little tighter. And it squares them up and makes a really nice seal. Well, that won't be hidden or rubbing on anything. I'm going to zip tie it down to a couple of things. I got the other side all put together. So now you start at the longest line, so it'd be the passenger side line. I'm going to open this up with an 8mm, this bleeder screw. Just turn it like a turn, half turn, whatever. I got a hose I'm going to use so I don't make a huge mess. Now that that's open, I can take my vice grip off of my flexible hose. I'm just going to let it gravity bleed. It should bleed out on its own. I topped off the reservoir and I left the cap open on the brake reservoir too. So just to make sure there's brake fluid in it. And sometimes if you leave the cap on it, it won't gravity bleed. Well, I got that going on. I'm going to use these same old crusty old drums. I got to do a brake adjustment. It slides on way too easy. Oh shit, it's stuck. Crapiola. I'm going to get some of this rust off of here. I need to turn this adjuster up. That'll force the brake pads out. I'll put this back on. And it's still too loose. And now it won't go on, so it's too tight. So I got to pull back on this and back it off. And it's still too tight. You want it so it just barely drags. It's like loose right now. I can feel it barely touching off on like half the drum. So it's loose here, and right here it's touching just a little. So I know that adjustment's right. I want to take this drum off and do the other side. The reason why is because if this one's on, it can screw with the feel of the drum when I adjust the other side. This is gravity bled enough. It's dripping out of there. Close this with my fingers. And I just got to do the same to the other side. Well, okay, I got both sides finished. I stomped on the pedal a whole bunch and held it down really hard to make sure them brake lines aren't leaking. And nothing's leaking, everything's holding, and it feels really nice. So, another amazing brake job by Russ Beltato. Okay, bye.